Alright, so we're going to go into solving absolute value equations, but talking about it with inequalities. So we're going to go through 4 examples here and give you a good understanding how to work these out. Alright, so in our first equation here, we have absolute value of x is greater than 3. So with this, there's 2 steps we got to do to solve for this. Just like we did when we just had the equal sign, we're going to take the positive and the negative value for the solution. But the next step is we're going to switch that sign when we change it to the negative value. So watch, this is how it's going to play out. So with this one, we would normally just say, if this is the equal sign here, if this is an equal sign right here, we would simply say x is equal to 3, and then we would say x is equal to negative 3. Well, the only thing that's going to change is we're eventually going to say x is greater than 3, but then we're going to say x is less than negative 3. All right? And now there's no other further calculations we need to do because those simply are our answers. So right here, the answers we come out with is any value greater than 3 would work, and any number value less than negative 3. Right? And this should make sense because if you look at this, if I have any number that's greater than 3, this equation will work out. If I had the number 10 in here, if I had the number 1 million in there, they're all greater than number 3. Same thing if I had x is less than negative 3. If I had a negative 4, well, absolute value of negative 4 is 4, so it'd be greater than 3. If I had negative 1 million, even though that sounds like a really small number in all reality, if you look at a number line, but if we were to put the absolute value, that would turn into positive 1 million. So then 1 million is definitely greater than 3. So these work out. Let's look at the next example. All right, so the absolute value of x minus 3 is greater than 5. So again, we're going to take the first equation, x minus 3 greater than 5, just how it's written. And then we're going to take x minus 3, and we're going to switch the sign and say less than, we're going to say negative 5. Now we can go through and just simplify these to solve for x. So in this first one, x minus 3 is greater than 5. We're going to add 3 to both sides. Therefore, we get x, these 3's will go away, greater than 8. Now, on this other side, we do the same thing with our minus 3 there. So if x minus 3 is less than negative 5, well, we're going to take this positive 3 and add it to both sides. So where we're left with x on the left-hand side, these 3's go away, less than, and then negative 5 plus 3 gives us negative 2. So what it's saying is we have any number greater than 8 and any number less than negative 2 will work in this equation. All right, so those are our answers. We have x greater than 8, x less than negative 2. All right, let's do a couple more examples. All right, so with this one, we've got absolute value of x minus 5 is greater than or equal to negative 3. Now, before we go into the process that we talked about in the previous 2 problems, let's go ahead and isolate to where all we have is absolute value on one side of the equation and everything else on the other. So we want to isolate its absolute value. So we want to isolate this, right? So isolate the absolute value. So to do that, let's go ahead and add 5 to both sides. Then we'll be left with absolute value of x on this side. The negative 5 plus 5, those will go away. greater than or equal to, and then we have negative 3 plus 5 should give us a positive 2. Right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to set it up just like we did previously on, shall we say, this first example we did right here with x. That's why I have x is greater than 3. We're going to set that up just like that. So if we were to do that, we would say x greater than or equal to 2, or x, we're going to switch that sign now. Now it's going to go to less than or equal to negative 2. And that is going to be our answer for this guy. Okay? So with this one again, we had the value of x is greater than or equal to 2, or x is less than or equal to negative 2. All right, let's do one more example here. With this, we have 2 times absolute value of x minus 4 is greater than 12. So again, just like we talked about a minute ago, we want to isolate. We want to isolate the absolute value on one side and everything else on the other. So to do that, let's get rid of that 2. Let's say 2 times everything. So the opposite of multiplication is division. So let's divide by 2 on both sides. For that to work out, we get these 2's will go away, and we'll be left with absolute value of x minus 4 is greater than, we have 12 divided by 2, which is 6. Now we can set this up like we did previously, and we can take this and say x minus 4 greater than 6, or you could say x minus 4, and we want to change that sign, so we're going to change that sign to less than and a negative 6. Now we can go forward and solve for these problems.
Teachers.
So now we will add 4 to both sides on this first one. X minus 4 is greater than 6. We'll add 4 to both sides to get rid of that minus 4. Left with x minus 4 goes away. We're left with greater than, and 6 plus 4 is 10. For this next one, x minus 4 less than negative 6, we're still going to add 4 to both sides to get rid of that 4. So we'll be left with x, these 4's will go away, or less than, so x less than, and then we have negative 6 plus 4, so it should give us a negative 2. So for this, we have x greater than 10, x greater than 10, or x less than negative 2. Any values that you were to put in the equation and follow those rules, as far as x being greater than 10 or x being less than negative 2, the equation will work and it will make sense according to the inequality that is given in the problem. All right, so I hope that explained a little bit with inequalities, and I'll see you next time.